Welcome back to Josh Does Math. This video we're going to be finding the derivative of a couple of different functions. So these ones are pretty simple. Start off with the first one here. We're looking for the derivative of this function. Alright, well this looks like we're just adding up a bunch of terms. So we can just take the derivative of the individual terms. And when you look at the derivative of each of these terms, we're actually just going to be using the power rule on them. And of course the constant multiple rule for a couple. So we'll do this one, derivative of the first. Okay, well that's going to be right here. That's going to be power out front, one smaller on the power. That's the power rule. Power out front, one smaller on the power. Okay, what about the next one? Plus 2x to the sixth. Well, I pull the constant along for the ride. One smaller on the power out front, one smaller on the power. Okay, so 6 comes out front, and we make the power one smaller. All right. Next term, constant multiple. Okay, so -4 comes along for the ride. X to the third, pull the power out front, one smaller on the power. And the final term, constant comes along for the ride, pull the power out front, one smaller on the power. And even though it might sound stupid to say that over and over again, I find that saying it over and over again, just as you're doing the problem, it helps you memorize it without you actually needing to consciously memorize it. If you just say it each time you use it, then you never have to actually sit down and try to think about all of your calculus rules. Instead, they're just kind of always in your head because you always say them as you use them. And now I'm just using just multiplying each of the terms in front, and I get this expression right here, which you can see each term involves a 12, so I could pull the 12 outside. I could also pull an x outside, but I'll just leave it like this. So that is the derivative of the first function up there. Now I'm looking for the derivative of the second function. And there's not really a clever approach to do for this except for just you're stuck multiplying the two terms using FOIL and then taking the derivative of each individual term, which will be very similar to what we just did. So okay, I do FOIL. I'll get 6x to the third plus 4x minus 3x squared minus 2. And we're still taking the derivative of that whole thing. So this is just a big polynomial chain. I'll just take the derivative of each individual term using the power rule and constant multiple rule, and those are the only rules I should need. So power out front, one smaller on the power. Power out front. Okay, I pull a 1 out front, it's still a 4. One smaller on the power, x becomes 0. So this is just 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. Pull the power out front, one smaller on the power. And the last one is just a constant, so we're done. We don't need to take the derivative of that. Now I just simplify this a little bit. 18x squared plus 4 minus 6x squared, and this actually simplifies a little bit more. This should be a power of 1 right here. So you can rearrange these terms here. Yeah, since this is a power of 1, it doesn't simplify any further. Unless you want to pull out a 2 from each term. But so you can just rearrange the terms, and there we go. That's the derivative of the second function. So these are just some common derivatives. Just polynomial chains. You just take the derivative of each term, which involves using the power rule. Thanks for watching.